And now, live on the fabulous interweb,
PTR Radio.
This is PTR Radio with Mike the Ape Man.
Stop, let me play with your body, baby, make you real. My child arrived just the other day. Came into the world in an unusual way. There were the cash, the bills to pay. Learned to walk while I was away.
Really just her, usually fill my life. It's golden chain with arms wide open.
Why do I know all these bad songs?
And now, PTR Radio.
I really can't
Baby, it's cold outside.
I gotta go away.
I'll just call you a cab.
I was hoping you'd
You can wait out by the curb.
Maybe I'll stay.
You already said no, I called that
But
cab.
there won't need to wait.
Here's your coat and
My
gloves.
father is out of town.
Let's just listen for the
There
horn.
is no need for me to
I really wish that cab would hurry.
Maybe just to have a drink more.
You can take it to
I
go.
really don't
It's not really that
mind.
bad out there.
So what would you think?
Wait, I thought you already said no.
I've changed my mind.
What, are you still here now?
Need to go.
Oh, here's your hat. You don't need to dwell.
To say no, no, no.
I'd really like you to
At
go.
least I'm gonna say that I
Can you
tried.
wait outside for your
I really
ride?
can stay.
I think we settled that. Baby, it's cold outside. You gotta go. Nope, you go. Come on, here you go. Nope, you're going. There you go. Oh, there's your cab. Bye.
By special request of Mike the Ape Man, the a friendlier Me Too approved version of "Baby It's Cold Outside."
That's terrible.
Yeah, that was
Thanks to Hawkeye in the Morning for providing that one.
whether they meant to or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They gave us no permission whatsoever, but we did it anyway.
And we gave him credit, so that's good enough.
So, welcome to another edition of PTR Radio. It has been forever since we have been on the air.
Since you guys, since everybody's wearing glasses, I might as well do. Shit.
I was gonna bring this up. I am wearing my old man glasses. I do have my contacts in, but I am at the point now where I need reading glasses. I have officially become very old, and it would have looked worse except for I shaved this morning, and so my gray beard is now all gone. Finally, it was getting really bad. My wife's like, "When are you gonna shave? Because you're starting to look a lot like your dad." I'm like, oh yeah, the guy who just, turned 65. And
It's funny because I came home from Charlotte in May and I didn't shave all week while I was down there. And my friend who has a goatee is like, "Yeah, you should just do the goat, man. You're there." I'm like, okay. Now I shaved one day and Kim's like, "What did you do?" Like, here's the problem is like all my gray hairs are in here.
yeah,
So okay.
yeah, mine just, I about a year ago, I would say, oh no, I don't have any gray hair because I was just looking at my head, and it's either brown or nothing. That's my two choices up top. But beard is black or gray, mostly gray anymore.
Yeah.
And so it is getting me to shave more often. Honestly, the beard shaming is working. So congratulations.
I actually started finding gray hairs. This is weird. Up my nose before anywhere else.
I'm glad you didn't
don't
say down
understand
your
that one.
pants.
No, up my nose.
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
I did have to break down and buy a nose trimmer. So that's another sign that I'm getting old. I didn't use one before.
I've actually gotten to the point where I just can sweep perfectly with my straight edge.
Oh,
It just
Fancy.
that is.
Oh, yeah.
Ew.
That's a big man level right there. No, I used it on the nose and the ears, but not inside the ears. I'm not that old yet, but it's like their hairs are starting on the outside of the ears. You know.
Yeah, I used to be annoyed at my.
Welcome to old men bitching. By the way,
cut my hair because she'd be like, "Oh, I found a gray hair." I was like, "No, you didn't. That's the same white hair that you found every time you cut my hair. It's the same white hair that's been there since basically the day I was born. I know that because it's the same spot it's always been. Find one somewhere else, I'll be excited or interested or not bored."
yeah. You know, our friend Nate, who used to be one of the hosts here, he went like overnight all gray. I mean, it was a amazing transformation. I mean, you know, used to be curly. You know, I was envious, but then like one day, boom, it's gray.
There's a joke in here about that's what fatherhood will do to you.
Well, it did coincide with his son, you know, being able to get out of the crib, but you know, it's crazy. But I still tell him I would rather have your gray than my nothing. You know, gray you can style, nothing only so much. That spray hair in a can doesn't actually work, no matter what the commercials say.
It did for John Cryer.
He needed something after the movie Hiding Out.
Well,
to reinvigorate his career.
Supposedly, he was bald the entire time that they shot 2.5 Men. And his stylist had some kind of hair in a can.
But that was like,
used.
I think that was hair thickening. I think that just made, I think that's like, you know, when the ladies do their eyelashes and stuff, you know, add volume to the lashes you have. I think that's basically what he was using.
So it was mascara on his head.
Kind of, yeah. You know, you can thicken. If you have something, you can thicken it. If you don't have nothing, there's nothing to do. And I'm not doing a toupee. No, I'll shave it all off before I do a toupee.
Well, yeah, there's nothing worse than the comb overs where you just shave it, just get rid of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not to the point where I'm going to shave everything off yet, but you know, it's getting there. So it has been a while, folks. I was on vacation. And then Mike had a meeting, so that's why we didn't go live last night. You know, I actually got to go and see Mike on my vacation. It was a very short stopover. I apologize for that, but we did finally get to meet in person for the first time in like 15 years. And the wives met. What?
Pointing at
you can see the ski.
Yeah. I did make a small delivery. While I was there.
There's 6 of them here. There's 2 upstairs.
Yeah. So while I was smuggling ski across the country for him, so I
still had good guest mileage.
Yeah, I still did. So I think I took what I take like 6 diets and 2 cherries. I think.
Yes.
So, as well as ski swag. You know, and I pull up and I have 12 packs of soda. My wife has 12 packs of soda, and we just set it in there. And yeah, it is whole hair migration. I set it in there, and he goes, "Wow, you brought a lot." And I'm like, "There's more in the car."
I'm like, and then here's the best part: we go out to the driveway because when we went to dinner, we all just got in my truck and we went. We go out to the driveway, and he's got the Honda. And I'm like, where did all of this stuff fit?
Answer is, it's a Honda.
You can actually fit 3 dead Italians in the trunk of that Honda. I proved it while I was gone. Because yeah, I did. I took the new Honda Accord. Mike, I put 2,700 miles on the car in 2 weeks.
I'll talk about throwing the curve off, man.
Yeah, exactly. I told my wife, I'm like, well, it has to now sit in the driveway for a month to make up the difference. But it's not going to. I came home, and the next Saturday that I was home, I put another 360 on it. So
I was going to say, are you leasing that?
No.
Okay.
No. I don't lease cars. Only smart people like Colin who can figure out the financing and everything else can figure out that.
I only did it once
Yeah.
because Toyota had an amazing leasing deal.
But
Yeah,
no, you know what? I got back to the hotel that night that we went out to dinner, and I'm like, oh damn, we didn't take any pictures.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that either.
I told my wife, I'm like, I should have had the waitress take a picture of us. We were hanging around there for so long. I didn't even think about it.
it's a good thing he has all that ski to prove that you were really there.
Yeah, exactly. So
Mike, what do you think?
Yes.
Ski.
The diet is very good. The cherry is an acquired taste.
it is. It is
I'm
a bit weird.
I'm not going to say it's bad. It's different.
It's a tart cherry.
Yes,
rather than a sweet.
The wife has made it clear that I need to drink the cherry.
So does she like the ski?
Yes. Thankfully, not that much, so I don't have to worry about figuring out where I'm going to get this stuff.
But well, Colin and I were talking before the show, and I said, well, you know, Colin, if you don't have any plans for next year's vacation, if it's not a default Disney vacation next year, maybe just he and I will head out your direction, and we can spend a couple of days out there, you know, and have a mini PTR picnic.
Okay.
You know,
You can do that.
and we'll have plenty of time to plan it, and you know, see where it goes from there. Just do a meetup, whatever, you know, and have some fun.
Now, I would like to hear some more about your trip, Shaggy.
Okay.
Especially, like, did you actually get to Vermont and stuff?
Yeah.
But before we do that, I think we need to quickly remind everybody that the DeathPool is open.
Yes, the DeathPool is open. It opened on Thanksgiving. I was working on it even though I was gone on vacation. But we did open promptly Thanksgiving morning so that if you were done with your family, you could start entering. All you do is go to ptrradio.com. There's a big banner right on the front page. Just click on it. You can enter your information as well as your 5 picks, answer our couple silly questions, and boom, you're entered into the 2019 contest. So to get your mind going on that same page where you enter, I added links so that you can look at all the historical picks that people have had over the years. So if you're going, oh man, I can't think of anybody, you can click on those links and see who people have picked in the past and, you know, kind of get your ideas going. Now, we already have had a couple people who submitted celebrities that have passed. Specifically, George H.W. Bush was submitted by a few folks. And here's how that works. If your pick dies before the end of 2018, we will email you and we will get a replacement pick for you. You won't forfeit the points or anything like that. You won't have an empty spot. You know, we will ask you to replace that person if they're a recent death. Now, if they died 20 years ago, all right, then it will be at our discretion to give you a replacement or not. So, you know, do check to make sure the people that you're submitting are actually alive.
Yes, and a lot of people, it's going to depend on how much you interact with the show on Facebook and what have you, as to whether or not you are going to be shamed.
Yes.
Case in point, I was as polite as I could be to one of our most popular, our most supportive listeners when they submitted a pic that died in like 2008 or 2013.
Yeah.
It was a minor typo and an explanation was given. I understand. However,
yeah, if
now,
you can, try and spell them correctly.
Well, and for the love of God, people, if you're entering on your phone, please, after you input the last name, hit the backspace key one time. Because that trailing space completely screws up all calculations.
Yeah. So, but regardless, we have started to get people in. We are nowhere near where we should be at this point in the game, though. So we need your help to get the word out about the game. We have had, I think, 2 more entries since I sent you the extract, Mike. So I will get you a new list. I know us hosts will start shaming people on Facebook and Twitter here shortly. I know, Mike, you already started.
Yeah, and I got yelled at.
Yeah.
Because apparently I was shaming people that had entered because I hadn't gotten the list yet.
Yeah. So, but part of that is because we don't reveal the name, who people have picked until the game starts. This is all a surprise. We want you guys to pick blind. So, you know, we can't let you know who other people picked for the upcoming year, because otherwise everybody would just, you know, look at the Glacier's picks and know that he has an arrangement with some organization, you know, and pick all the same people.
Yeah, the Glacier is currently winning the all-time best picks award.
So
he actually told me that he is afraid for Bob Barker.
Yeah, I've been checking on him, especially after he was in the hospital twice this year.
Yeah, so the Glacier is torn about entering next year. I told him, you're defending champ. You got to enter.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, you got to enter. Even if you throw it, okay, and you pick, you know.
What's her, Black Annie?
Black Annie. Gavinzale Wallace or whatever.
Yeah.
You picked them last year. Yeah.
Prevention Wallace. Pick her. Pick her.
Watch. She goes in some car accident and he wins again.
Well, see, that's what I did several
with
years
one
ago.
death.
I won like 2 or 3 years in a row, so I was like, okay, fine.
Cast of Star Wars. But no, I mean, it is. We had 3 people before. Somebody had picked 3. No one had ever picked 4. And so the Glacier is breaking records right now with the number of people picked. Not for the highest score necessarily, but the number of people picked. So,
yes, it was a bunch of old people.
Yeah. So, you know, we need you to help spread the word about it, as well as then get yourself some bonus points, folks, because bonus points are making a big difference as far as 2nd, 3rd, 4th, etc. So, you know, get yourself some bonus points by referring folks, having them enter your name or your email address in the form as who told you about it, and that way we can allocate those points to you. You can earn up to 20 points just by getting other people to enter. So, you know, always a good idea to do.
I mean, I'm just looking here, and if these points are correct, and I'm not sure they are, but if the points are correct on the hosts,
yeah,
then it's saying that you, of 2 people dead, have less points than me with 1.
Yes, because mine were older.
Right. So the points matter.
Yeah. So that's the update on the death pool. Get your submissions done. That closes right now. The tentative date is January the 1st. We may extend that to our first show, but right now it's January the 1st. We will let everybody know via our social media feeds.
Especially since we've had not that many episodes here at the end of the year to remind people.
Yeah. So we may extend that.
Yeah.
But regardless,
it just dawned on me as I'm looking at this sheet.
Mm-hmm.
12 or plus 13. I could still win.
Oh yeah, you have a big total there, Mike.
If James Harris, aka WWE's Kamala, passes away,
yeah,
I get 57 and change points plus 1 additional bonus, or actually, let me see something. I would get 1 additional bonus point for just the standard bonus points.
Yep.
Plus 12 points for the buzzer beater.
Yep.
So that's 70 points. That would put me in the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course,
not that I am wishing.
No. But if we're talking about that, I will say
if Shakira dies,
if almost anybody else on my list dies, between Peter Kay, Shakira, and Mariah Carey, because Steven Tyler, he's pretty old. But if either of the
wait a minute, Peter Kay,
he's a British comedian.
He's still alive.
Yes, he's still alive.
Okay.
But he's 45.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder, in case anybody new is listening, my list was made up of Margot Kidder and people who are in the news for canceling their tours.
Yeah, and again, this is all for humor's sake. We can't do anything about most of these people dying. Luckily, the majority of people have died of old age. There have been a few suicides in here, but the majority of people have just died of old age.
Yes.
So,
also, not all faces in our things are the people who were picked.
I think I have one wrong.
Yes.
But, yeah. So,
I'm still not convinced that's Prince Philip.
It is Prince Philip. Trust me. I had him for so long. It's Prince Philip. Say, look, that's him. And
of course, I got to go
that's
through.
That's Prince Philip. I agree with you on that.
That's him.
Agreeing that is Prince Philip.
He just. Oops, sorry. I touched the screen and I forgot it's touch screen.
So. And what I was telling the Glacier, because the Glacier is actually a guy that I play hockey with, so we may get video of him opening this stuff in front of the team.
Yeah.
Before a game. No video in the locker room. That's not
cool. That's
But hey, Mike, before you go on, we'll say we know where at least some of your cherry ski is going.
Yes. So he I completely forgot what the hell I was
sorry.
It's all right.
I have no idea. Now I completely forgot. Oh well. Oh well, I was telling him, I'm like, you practically clinched at this point. You know that, right? And he said, shouldn't we wait until the first of the year? I said, oh no, we will, because look, we will. It's going to take at least 2 weeks for me to go through and just make sure we didn't miss anybody.
Yeah.
Because, you get these weird picks like, I don't know, Matthew J. Watkins, who's a rugby player.
He is alive still.
Yeah.
I've been keeping my eye on him.
Last year, January 3rd, I get an email from Shaggy. Oh, by the way, Eslam Bochi died on August 3rd, and we missed it. You jackass, really? Now I got it. You have no idea how much. And I got to tell you something. Facebook completely made this more difficult for us to track stuff by taking away that trending box.
Yeah.
Because that was key to find out when, big names passed away.
Yeah, when George Bush died,
now
I just happened to still be awake, and I'm like, am I supposed to update Facebook?
Yeah, now we have to keep an eye on Twitter. So Twitter still has trending. But all right. So that's the DeathPool. Please make sure you sign up. Please tell all your friends and family about it. So my vacation started out, had a week with family, which was cool. We got to meet my nephew's girlfriend. Actually got to help her move in with them. My sister-in-law lives with her youngest son and now his girlfriend in Maryland. And so we got to spend about a week with them, which was fun. Watched quite a bit of movies. Watched a movie that should have been on our movie review list, but I don't think it was, called Jurassic Games. Think of Hunger Games plus Jurassic Park plus Running Man, kind of mixed all together. It wasn't horrible. Let me put it that way.
Sounds like my kind of movie.
I'd give it a meh on our scale, really. But I had everybody else watching it too, which was fun. I installed a couple of Roku sticks for him while I was there, which was the funnest thing. Having Amazon Prime delivered to me while I'm at someone else's house in another state. That's the best, because I forgot my selfie stick. And so I thought, well, you know what? It's only like $7. I'll just buy another one and 2 days ship it to myself. So while I was at it, I'll get another Roku stick for them. And then his biggest TV was broken. So kind of diagnosing what was broke on it, ordering the part, it got delivered after I left, but hopefully he was able to fix it. I have to find out on that. And then we left, went to New Jersey, had dinner with Mike and Mrs. 8-Man. Met all the zoo crew. Luckily, got a chance to meet Mr. Bird before he passed on, which happened yesterday. Which is sad to hear about that, Mike.
Thank you.
But it was great meeting all the dogs, and I know you guys were probably stressing out a little bit that we were overwhelmed with dogs. I kind of got that feeling. And
a little bit, because Tyson still does not understand that he needs to just dial it down. When company comes over, the puppy is at 11.
Yeah.
Okay? There is no lower setting.
And we're all like used to it, so it doesn't bother us at all. My wife was like, "Oh, I loved all their dogs." So
We need more dogs too.
she is the whole rest of the vacation. Can I get a puppy? I really want a puppy now. Do they have pot cakes at the shelter? We can get one. Hey, we should look into fostering. We should look into fostering. I could have all kinds of dogs if we fostered. Like, thanks, Mike. That's a great idea. Yeah, this is horrible. And we get home and she's going, we could put a cage there. We could put a cage there. We could put a cage there. Because they sleep in their cages at night. It's not like they stay locked up. People don't get crazy. But yeah, so she loved it. And then we went on to Vermont, New Jersey to Vermont, which meant we had to drive through New York, which meant I paid the highest toll I've ever paid to go over the George Washington Bridge.
Was it 18 now?
It was $15.50.
Okay.
12 lanes of traffic into 3 after you get out of the toll booths. And I just laughed every time I saw a speed limit sign. Speed limit 45. We're going 3. I think we're okay. Oh, God. That's worse than DuPont Circle in D.C.
Now, were you upper level or lower level
We
on the GWB?
We were upper level.
Okay. Lower level, I took lower level going to Maine last time. Traffic was so bad, I could feel the bridge bouncing. I was like, no. I've watched too many bad movies. This is not how I'm supposed to die.
Yeah.
I'm looking over towards the opening. I'm like, kaiju? Is it kaiju? No? Okay.
But see, you didn't have your wife rolling down the window, pointing the camera out, trying to snap pictures while you're driving in this crazy traffic. And I kept wanting to go, put your arms back in the car. Put your arms back. You're going to drop your phone. Put your arms back in the car. We already are driving like tourists. We don't have to look that much like a tourist here. I can't see around you. I need to figure out which lane I need to be in. This is madness. So...
Oh, God.
Oh, she took a picture of me on the bridge, and I'm like, it's that intense. It is.
Yep.
It's me shooting things on the that one Disney picture you put up of me.
Yes, exactly. And she goes, "Are you mad?" No, I am laser focused right now. All right.
Yep.
I am like, ahead, mirror. Ahead, mirror, ahead, mirror. What? Trying to plan out 5 miles ahead of me because I get one opportunity to change lanes, and that's it. Ah.
Now, the good part about the bad part rather about upper level is you got the trucks.
Yeah.
So there's no trucks on the lower level.
Yeah.
So that's the one benefit of being down there.
Yeah, and then it's like, all right, I am used to one aspect of this. When traffic does let up, speed limits are a mere suggestion. All right. When the road finally does clear, if you're going to speed limit, you're getting your ass run over. And they just don't care.
Pretty much.
But yeah, no, we got to see the edge of the Bronx. We got to see, all these. My wife's like, "Where are we at now?" I'm like, "Nowhere we want to break down." I can tell you that right now.
We are in the local equivalent of East St. Louis.
I'm like, and meanwhile, I got somebody texting me that I'm listening to on Google on the radio. You know, I'm playing text messages through and dictating them back, and I'm like, I am near Compton right now. I don't want to talk to you. So yeah,
not that bad.
So no, it wasn't because we were on the outside. But I'm like, no, this is so. But then we go into Vermont, and Vermont just is it. They call it a highway or an interstate. I call it a 2-lane road in the country because it's a completely different idea. I mean, yeah. and for one, all right, in Illinois, I'm very used to 5 miles before an exit, they tell you what is at that exit. All right, there's food, there's gas, what kind of food, what type of gas stations, all this kind of stuff to let you know, hey, in at least 2 miles, this is what's available. Vermont exits, what I figured out finally was you find out what's at the exit once you're on the exit. There's no advance notice whatsoever. I'm passing all these exits because I think, well, there's nothing on them. All I see are town names. I finally look down one, and halfway down the exit is the signs telling me what restaurants are down there. Like, that does me no good. I can't turn around. Because most of the states we went through never heard of the damn Cloverleaf Exchange. So, everybody needs to learn Cloverleaf exit patterns for the highways. Very useful. Very nice. I don't have to do a 90-degree turn to get off of the highway, which is what I had to do several times. Or this very tight 360-degree turn.
Oh, my favorite's Tennessee. Tennessee is, you have about 15 feet of pavement between you and the road over there.
Yeah.
So slow down from highway speeds to local road speeds in 15 feet. Go.
Yeah. So, but we made it to Vermont. Vermont was nice. My wife kept wondering why she can't find any
teddy bears.
Colby Jack cheese. Mike, they don't call it Vermont Colby Jack or Pepper Jack. It's Vermont cheddar. You're going to find cheddar cheese here and maple syrup. But, of course, my daughter's boyfriend wanted pepper jack. There wasn't no pepper jack. So, but we came home with a whole big cooler full of cheese and a couple of logs of summer sausage. I certainly hope that they, mix in some roughage or they're going to get blocked up for something awful. There's a lot of cheese curds, cheese bricks, cheese slices, cheese crazy.
All right, so I got to ask you a question too, because we didn't get to talk about your accommodations while you were in Jersey.
Yep.
I tried to help you pick one that was close, but still. Yeah. When Shaggy and I were talking about it, he said, well, what town should I look? What town are you in? I'm like, well, listen, you don't want to look here. All right. because the hotels that are closest, you don't want either somebody OD'd in that room, somebody is going to OD in that room, or you're going to get hepatitis. So you don't want to stay at any. So we found one that was relatively close.
Right.
But it's on a highway here in Jersey called State Highway 18, Route 18.
Yeah.
So I would like your impression of Route 18.
Could we find another way to get to this hotel other than taking... This is another one of those, all right, I'm going... This is like a plus intersection, right? So you would think I come up to the intersection, I turn left to get to the hotel, which is just up here. You can't turn left. No, what you have to do is you have to keep going straight, turn right, take a 360-degree turn, come back, and then go that way.
Yeah, it's a clover leaf.
No, because they're not all over. It's really weird. I thought I was going the wrong way for a second. I actually thought I was getting back on a highway that I didn't want to be on. I was very confused, even in the daylight. At night, I had figured it out by then, so I was okay. But the accommodations themselves weren't bad. I mean...
Okay.
It's not a 5-star.
Oh, no.
All right.
No.
But trust me, we stayed in worse in Cleveland.
5-star around here means you're staying in New Brunswick, which is not bad.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing. New Brunswick is a college town. It's college and industrial. That's where Rutgers University is. So you'll have plenty to do there, but you're going to pay out the wazoo. And parking is in a parking garage.
Yeah. See, and that was the thing, is I like that we didn't have to pay to park, because that was the one time I didn't, all the places we went, I didn't have to pay to park anywhere. And, I think the most I paid for a hotel room, any place that we stayed at, was $108 after tax, which was pretty good for everywhere that we went, at least. Yeah. So, I was very happy with that. No, the accommodations there were fine, Mike. It's not, like I said, it's an okay place to sleep, which is all we were really doing. So, not a big deal. It was fine. I mean, they probably need to replace the carpet, but other than that, it's good.
I think when we do our trip, I was just looking here because he's like, you stopped in Cleveland?
Yes, I did. I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on the way back. Oh, that place was awesome. Let me finish real quick.
Yeah.
So after we went to Vermont and we got a lot of cheese there, then we came to upstate New York. We stayed in a place called Geneva, which is off near Seneca Lake, and so we stayed there for 2 days, and the idea was that we would hit the wineries, which are all around the lake, and we would just fill up on wine because we had to we came home with 3 cases of wine. All right. Now, 1 case was for my parents because they had sent us with an order sheet of what they wanted. Because we always get wine from this winery called Fox Run. It's a very nice winery. It's one of the oldest ones in the area, and they just do an amazing job. But then we then continued on the trail. I wanted to get an early start for the day, and I found that Fox Run opened up at 10 a.m. So the wife and I started touring wineries at 10 a.m. So we started drinking at 10 a.m. Because you can't tour wineries without tastings. And she's kind of a lightweight. So I said, okay, well, what we'll do is we'll just do 1 tasting glass and we'll just split it, basically. So the whole thing was most of the places we went, for $5, you get 5 tastings, and they just, 1 glass, they fill it up a little bit of the way, and they tell you about the wine, you taste it, and you see if you like it. And so I was getting a half of this every time we did a little tasting of wine. So by the second stop, all right, I have gotten maybe a half a glass of wine, possibly 3/4 of a glass of wine at the most. All right. The wife says, "Are you okay to drive? Are you still okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." yeah, I'm really just fine. Why? And she goes, I'm not used to drinking this much in the morning. I'm like, well, you have a long way to go because we're not stopping at just 2 wineries. So we kept on going, and I pushed her through. And after like the 4th one, she's like, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. This is only like 12:30. And we had stopped for lunch. And I'm like, that's okay. I'll just do whatever tastings we have left. So we did, I think we did a total of 6 wineries. And most places we spent at least $50 in wine. So that's where we get 2 cases of wine for us. But it's not hard to spend that much when a bottle of wine costs $14, you know. And we were buying for us, we were buying for my parents, and so it wasn't real bad. And then what I also found was that they have a lot of, not distilleries, but breweries around the lake now. Upstate New York has gotten into brewing in the 15 years since I've been there last. And what I liked was they had a lot of cider breweries. So they had hard ciders. And I found this place called the War Horse, which was spectacular. It was all done up in World War II. Look, it's a compound called Three Brothers. There are 3 wineries and the brewery, plus a coffee house. So they have a little bit of everything for everybody. So I got to try out a bunch of different ciders, and I brought home a ton of it. So I've got 5 4-packs of 16-ounce cans, as well as 2 wine bottles full of cider, and that's what we're breaking out Christmas Eve and Christmas Day here.
Nice.
Because the last time we went somewhere, I bought a growler from a place, and my daughter didn't get any, and she was kind of pissed. So this time I made sure I brought back plenty. But they had a couple. This War Horse had a couple of interesting ones that we actually got from my nephew. So they had a Eisenhower. What was it called? It's like Eisenhower oatmeal ale.
Okay.
And then they had. Is it Eisenhower? Yeah, I think it was. And then they had Breakfast with Churchill, which is coffee, chocolate, and oatmeal in a beer. I'm not that type of beer guy. I like my Bud Light and my Miller Lite. I know that offends a lot of people who are into the custom IPAs and everything. Oh. But I
like flavored beers, but I do not like IPAs.
Yeah.
No, IPAs is that you patchouli, you stinking Birkenstock motherfucker. Get those IPAs out. I don't want nothing to do with them.
Yeah. So then our final, our next to final day, we drove to Cleveland, Ohio, because I have driven around Cleveland dozens upon dozens of times. And every time I think, I know the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is here, I really want to stop. And I usually have a car full of other people that don't want to, or there's just not enough time. So this time I told the wife, I'm like, listen, I really want to stop here. I know that it's expensive to go in, because it's $26 a person to go through, unless you buy your tickets ahead of time, and then it's $23 a person. But it's 8 floors of exhibits. Now, granted, the floors get a little bit smaller the higher you go up, because it's a pyramid-shaped building. But it was amazing, and I didn't have enough time there. By the time we got there, it was like 3:30. They closed at 5:30. And my wife's back was already hurting, so she walked through the first floor with me, which was cool because you get to see things like Elvis's motorcycle. You get to see Jimi Hendrix's mixing board, a couple of his guitars, outfits, all kinds of stuff. You get to see the Beatles regalia, all kinds of things. Basically, the building bones of rock and roll. And then they had a special exhibit of classic rock and modern rock pinball machines.
Ooh.
And you could play them. They weren't just on display. You could actually get quarters and you could play all these.
Wow.
It's like there was an, I don't know if it was an AC/DC or a Kiss game there that I swear I had seen previously for like $10,000, because those things aren't cheap. But, you know, they even had a Dolly Parton pinball machine. How many times are you going to see that in your life?
Good point.
You know? So she decided that after the first floor, she'd had enough. So she went and sat in their little food court area. And me knowing, hey, I don't want her to sit there forever, I kind of sped through the rest of the building, taking as many pictures as I can. I took over 200 pictures just while I was there, just with my phone. You know, but there was some really cool stuff there. I got to vote on the nominees for the incoming Hall of Fame awards. I got to see the some stuff from the inductees from this year, which was really cool because Bon Jovi got inducted this last year, and my wife's a huge Bon Jovi fan. So I got to take some pictures, and even they had the handwritten lyrics for like "I'll Be There for You" and some of their other songs, like in the spiral ring notebooks on display.
Yeah, see, if I had known that, then I would have said, oh, well, now we got to take a picture because you're eating in Bon Jovi's hometown.
Oh, okay.
See?
Yeah.
I know.
But so it was for me, that was probably one of the best times because I'm just walking around going, wow, I'm really in awe of a lot of this stuff. Do I like all the musical styles? No, but it's just, for me, it's a big piece of history because I love music so much. And then we just headed home after the next day. So the worst place that we stayed was in Independence, Ohio that night. And we were staying at a Ramada, which around here is, or no, we were staying at a Crown Plaza, which is normally a pretty, you know, a decent hotel, you know. Mm-hmm. It's the higher end. Well, this one hadn't been maintained very well at all. And there was evidently a Pee Wee Hockey League tournament going on in town.
Oh, boy.
So the hotel was full of probably 14 and under hockey players and hockey families. And had one elevator. Well, I had one bank of 3 elevators that was on the opposite end of the building as where you parked. So the way it worked was I dropped the wife off at the lobby and said, okay, here's where the elevators are. Just go up to the 4th floor, which is where our room is. I'll go park the car at the other side, grab the bags, go in the side door, walk all the way down through the hotel to the elevators, take the elevator up, walk back almost to the side of the hotel where our car is parked because that's where our room is. And in walking through the 1st floor, I have to walk basically through a hallway which is connecting like 5 party rooms full of hockey players. And they're playing hockey in the hallway and everything else. And I look in these rooms, there's just tables of pizza and carts full of beer for the parents.
Okay.
So, and at 2:30 in the morning, the family that stayed in the room right across the hall from us finally checked in, making no care at all that we were trying to sleep. So that was by far, so in comparison, the New Jersey hotel was a lavish palace.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but it was a good. What differed about this vacation was that we moved around such a lot. Previous vacation that we took, where we spent a decent amount of time, we basically went and saw family for a week. Then we went to Tennessee and we base camped out of one house for a week. And I think we decided that we like this way better because we get to see more, and we don't get burned out at one area. So yeah. That's our plan, is to kind of do this again. Mm-hmm. Except for this time, we're actually, I think, going to go closer to the actual coast, and we're going to go from Maryland all the way up to Maine, and then back home when we do this again. So it may actually end up being a longer trip next time. I don't know.
I'll tell you, in general, one rule that I have developed is I always check to see if there's a brewery.
Well, we were staying in, the majority of what we were staying in were Holiday Inns. And I'd never had any complaints about any of the Holiday Inns we were in. We were in a Comfort Suites or that chain of hotels. But most of them we were staying in were actually Holiday Inn Expresses or straight Holiday Inns. Loved all those.
The reason I like brewery just is, one, they're all company owned.
Yeah.
There's no franchises of brewery. They all have free supper, free breakfast, free beer, free wine.
Yeah. So it's like a Homewood Suites for Holiday Inn, basically. Because they do the same thing.
Yeah, except that they are all company owned, so you know you're not dealing with a bad franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we have any of those in Jersey. I've never heard of such a thing.
There was one in Cleveland. There's basically they're around you, just not in New Jersey itself.
Yeah.
Okay, because any place that offers free beer and wine while you stay there, people would be living there.
Well, you get coupons, so you get like 2 free beers a day, not unlimited free beers.
Yeah,
people would still live there.
Yeah, I when I used to have to go to Chicago, I used to stay in the Homewood Suites, and we got breakfast and dinner, and it was a proper dinner. It wasn't just like a little bit, but they had a complimentary beer hour, and it was basically all you could drink for an hour out of a keg, or until the keg ran out. It was ridiculous. I'd go and get bombed at 5 o'clock, and then walk around downtown, going, wonder what I should eat for second dinner, because I still got a per diem coming. So it was great. It was like when I used to stay at the Allegro, and they would have complimentary manager's wine hour from 5:30 to 6:30, and I just get bombed on Chardonnay and then go walking around. Those hotels were great for that. Nothing's better than drunk walking down Michigan Avenue.
I was just looking at the map between us and Mike, and there is one place I'd like to visit.
Okay.
I would love to visit Gettysburg.
Okay, taking a historical route. I've been there, but it's been years and years.
Well, listen. If you guys come to Jersey, I can drive you around, and within 5 square miles, I could show you at least 17 places where George Washington slept.
Cool. Now, is this the George Washington, or just like a guy named George Washington?
No, the
who
George
asked
Washington.
for change. Okay.
The George Washington.
All right.
Come over here, we can show you the 2 places where Lincoln slept.
All right. We probably should get to actual news and not just my selfish news.
All right, listen.
No,
Let's stop ruining Christmas, God.
Yeah. So
You me too. Look, this is getting out of control.
We opened the show with that politically correct version of Me Too because it seems like there have been
politically correct version of Baby It's Cold Outside.
Oh, Baby It's Cold Outside. Yeah, sorry. Because it seems like there have been a number of radio stations now which have removed Baby It's Cold Outside from their playlists. Now, I won't disagree that if you just look at the lyrics, it could be interpreted as a bit rapey. All right. It could, if you're looking at it through that lens.
And that's the key point.
Yeah.
Not everything needs to be looked at through that lens.
Yeah. I agree.
There's a meme going around on Facebook now. Wait until they figure out that Frosty the Snowman has no pants on and smokes a pipe in front of kids.
So
yeah,
all right, they want to ban Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer because the core of it is bullying.
Yes.
Yes, but he overcomes the bullying.
Yes, he rises above his adversity. what was I thought I had.
I think it's important to put "Baby It's Cold Outside" in context. That it was a song written by a husband and wife singing team.
Yes,
they wrote to sing themselves. So you can read into the lyrics other things, but at the time it was written, people were not drugging other people's drinks to rape them.
No. Yeah. So, Mike, you had found a list. A friend of yours had posted on Facebook, I believe.
Yep. That
had other songs which were potentially going to be pulled off for various reasons.
Yes.
Do you have that handy, or do you need me to send it to you?
I have it.
Okay.
I have it here. So
you want to go through a couple of those?
Sure. I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. This is going to be banned because it is subjecting minors to softcore porn.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, do we know that Santa Claus asked for it or approved it? I mean, all we see here is a woman forcing herself onto a man.
Do we know that Santa Claus is being played by a male? Maybe. What if Santa's being played by a female?
Yeah. I mean, how does he identify? Is the question.
How does he identify? Oh, God, let's not even go there. All right. White Christmas. That's racist.
Yes. So racist. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Forced gender-specific gifts. Dolls for Janice and Jen, and boots and pistols. Guns of all things. For Barney and Ben.
Actually, my favorite.
We're glorifying violence.
My favorite here was actually the Christmas song, number 2 here. Open fire, pollution, folks dressed up like Eskimos. That's cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they're going to be watching Moana.
I mean, if a girl showed up to her prom dressed as an Eskimo, instant rage.
Jingle Bell Rock. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. That's animal abuse.
Yeah. You can hear the cracking of a whip in that song somewhere. Winter Wonderland, Parson Brown demanding that they get married. That's forced partnership into an aristocracy, basically.
That's Sharia law.
Yeah, it is.
This one I don't get. Mistletoe and Holly. I've never heard this song before. If I have, I didn't know it by this title. Overeating, folks stealing a kiss or two. How did this song ever see the light of day?
Did it?
Yeah. Do you hear what I hear? A blatant disregard for the hearing impaired.
Okay, so...
I mean, it's just rubbing their nose in it.
Mama Blair posts this one. Bico being Baby It's Cold Outside. And what's cut off... I watched Dean Martin singing it to a skimpily dressed girl on his TV show. No banning, but we'll turn to a different station. Okay, so you had a bad experience because of how you saw the song actually performed.
Right, but you look at her responsible adult reaction to that. It's,
okay.
Hey, I don't like this. I'm just going to turn the channel.
Do you have the link that I sent before the show? Because Baby It's Cold Outside, there is a reversal on this one.
Yep.
And
favorite holiday tradition.
Whoa. You got to skip a little bit.
I just love getting
all right.
Big grand. Well, my lady, it's big grand, but I think I've got to be going.
No.
I really can't stay.
Baby, it's cold outside.
So this is, the roles are reversed.
Baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has been
So happy that
Yeah.
And this is Lady Gaga and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
my mother will start to worry.
What's the
And father will be pacing the floor.
Listen to the fireplace
So
roar.
really I'd better scurry. Or maybe just a half a drink more.
Put the record on while I
Yeah, look at that.
Baby,
I mean,
it's out there.
she's straight up a cougar in this video.
Cats out there.
So,
Your eyes are better than
That's, I think this actually goes back to my mom's comment on this.
yep.
To say a lot of it is the presentation.
Yeah.
So we actually had a different story, which also I think underlines this,
Yes.
which was the the acapella group who were doing "Kiss the Girl" from Little Mermaid.
Oh yeah.
And when I first saw the story, we actually had two versions of it. One, he had a different video, which is because I put it up because it actually was just showing the group, not a news story. When I first was reading this, though, I thought it was stupid. But then when I was reading some of the comments from the news stories, I realized this, again, is all about how you package it. The original song from Little Mermaid was not trying to get someone to force... what this acapella group was doing with Kiss the Girl is they actually would get two random people from the audience, a boy and a girl, and then we're basically trying to convince them to kiss through the song. Which, to me, when you look at that, it's like, that's not a great idea.
That's a lot of encouragement.
That's a lot of encouragement, and you're really...
I mean, it'd be different if you could point out that they are boyfriend and girlfriend.
And knew what this song was about and were going to play a role.
I mean,
this is a more pressure-filled version of the kiss cam.
Yes.
At sporting events.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which can be problematic itself. The point here, the point is, it isn't the song that's the problem; it's the packaging.
Yes. I agree with that.
Yeah, in fact, here, just talking about Kiss Cam, let's talk about this. Here's a few fails. He's still on the damn phone. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe that guy did that.
I look at that when I'm going to guess that was all staged.
I'm actually not going to guess that that's all staged. I love failures. Oh no. Yes, this is the point where we just watch videos. That guy looks like what's his name from the yeah. Oh Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, so sorry. I haven't watched that one before, but yeah. Kiss cams can go wrong, folks.
Yes.
So yeah. This one's not getting us into much play on YouTube. This one's not going to get a whole lot of money.
Oh, we can just mute those parts.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, it is going a bit too far. I mean, Mike, I think I pointed out when I saw this article, if I can find my notes here about this, that for number 7, which is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, they forgot about reinforcing body dysmorphia and or body shaming. And I mean, yeah, it's I don't know.
Frosty the Snowman, we've already pointed out. Okay, it's sexist.
Yeah.
What if Frosty identifies as a woman?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see any twig and berries on Frosty. Did you?
No. But he's not wearing pants, so
yeah. Obviously. I mean, with a couple of snowball additions, boom, Miss Frosty.
But
instantly.
see, my comment about when I posted about the Princeton group not performing this song, this came out after the whole "Baby It's Cold Outside"
yeah.
debate. And my question was, Did they decide to do this just to ride the publicity wave?
You do have to wonder about that, don't you? You know, I don't know.
But
I am not going to be the one to say that it's gone too far. I'm not going to be the one to get the ire for the Me Too movement for that.
I agree. But
what I am going to say is that people should not be tried in the court of public opinion. All right.
I do agree with that as well.
I mean, if you want to relay this to something which has happened recently, like as in like over the weekend, it's the Kevin Hart thing. Okay?
Yes.
Kevin Hart was up for hosting the Oscars.
He was hired to host the Oscars.
He was hired, he was announced.
Yes.
And then after which people started digging around in his Twitter accounts, as some people do, and found back in 2008, maybe even as as long ago as early as 2010, he had made what could be considered homophobic jokes. Okay?
Which, at the time, I am not saying they're correct, but at the time, everyone was.
Yeah. And comedians tend to push things, and they also tend to expose their own inner thoughts in ways that, they can handle. It's not... Comedians are a special brand of people that let their inner thoughts come out. The majority of the rest of us have this little gate that says, that's not for public consumption. Keep that inside. Okay? Now, whether or not the stuff that's held back is bad or not, doesn't matter. We all hold some things back. Okay? I don't care what it is. Everybody has something that they go, "Ooh, glad I didn't say that." All right? I can tell you what, we are all very happy that social media didn't exist when we were teenagers.
And not that we were ever
younger.
famous.
No, but
I look. I cannot ever run for office.
No,
because the minute I do, someone is going to release something from the NHB box set, and believe me, I remember a few bits that I regret.
It'll be effing black.
Effing black, or there was a few things I said during the Healing Farts skit.
Yeah.
That, look, I remember. I know.
Yeah.
I've gone back and I've listened to them, and I said, God, I wish these would just burn.
And Kevin Hart said, listen, I have apologized for these in the past.
Yes.
I have made my peace with what I said. I have grown. It's not where I am anymore. The energy that went into finding them could have been just as good used finding the apologies that I put for them, and how I've changed since then, which I have to agree, and I think that was a great response.
No, wait, no. Kevin Hart's responses to this problem were absolutely terrible. It was a textbook how not to react. If Kevin Hart had reacted better to this situation, he would still be the host.
No, because he was given an ultimatum.
No, he was not.
Yes, he was. The Oscars said, apologize, or we're going to have to go somewhere else.
After he blew up badly with his response.
Well, I don't know. I
mean, Glad that the Cell said, well, wait a second. We didn't want him gone. I think because he did. Well, part of the problem is he gave multiple responses. His final response was the correct response.
I don't think he changed his overall response throughout any of them. I watched the first one when he was in bed, just doing a video to Instagram and Twitter, and it pretty much followed the same thing. Was that's not who he is anymore, and that he's changed, and that if we can't forgive people for what they did in the past and understand that they grow, then what good is it?
I think what you're saying is a fine part of a response, which you would do include the apology, which he already put on, which he could have put on, but he immediately reacted to this as someone. It was a bad reaction. He was acting like he was being attacked immediately.
Well, I don't know, Mike. What do you think?
I'm from the clips that I saw. Now, if there are other clips out there that could change my opinion, I'm open to see them. But from what I saw, and I saw the clips that Shaggy's referring to. First off, he did apologize for what happened in the past, but he did state, that's not who I am anymore, exactly as Shaggy said. And he also stated that he would not make those comments today because he has grown as a person. All right? But the second video that I saw also confirms what Shaggy was saying, that the Academy came to him and said, we have a problem. You're blowing up about these tweets. You either need to make a statement, issue a statement apologizing, or we're going to have to find someplace else to go. And Kevin's reaction was, I have already apologized. I'm just going to save you the trouble, and I'm stepping down.
Yeah, he said
he didn't appreciate the way the ultimatum was. He felt like he was guilty. They approached him right away saying, you're guilty, we need to fix this, instead of, oh, well, you did apologize for it, so let's figure out how to work through it.
Yeah, and I think I think when he said he didn't want to become a distraction for the awards, I think he's right. No matter which way, if he would have apologized again, it wouldn't have stopped.
And that's a very valid point. That is a very valid point. Honestly, him stepping aside is really the only option.
I think if he responded better when it first happened, that he would still be the host.
I don't think so. I think no matter what.
I think he spent that his initial response was to go on and on about how much he loves himself, and he wishes everybody understood just how much he loves himself now. And just the response was not the correct response. Make the problem go away. Well,
and I think part of the thing is you have to understand he wasn't. He was. I don't know. I thought he handled it as best as could be, saying I've already addressed this, and it's way we've seen other people handle certain things. I just think that he, I thought he did a good job of handling it. I know some others maybe do disagree, but I've listened to a couple of folks in entertainment that said, listen, he did what he could do. There was nothing else he could do. He was in a no-win situation. He gave the answers he could give, and, so I would handle it roughly the same. I mean, understand that he has movies in production right now, and he has other offers, other movie projects that he's being thought about for. So to make this die as quickly as possible is the best for him. Missing out on the Oscars, no big deal for him. That's not going to bother his paychecks much one way or the other. All right. He cares about the long game here.
Right. So here is his initial response.
Okay.
My team calls me, oh my God, Kevin, the world is upset by tweets you did years ago. Guys, I'm almost 40 years old. If you don't believe that people change, grow, evolve as they get older, I don't know what to tell you. If you want to hold people in a position where they always have to justify, explain their past, then do you. I'm the wrong guy, man. I'm in a great place, a great mature place, where all I do is spread positivity. If you're not doing that, you're not on my page.
Okay.
That was his initial response. His initial response was to attack the people who are bringing these up.
Well,
not to in any way apologize for that stuff in the first place.
You could read the second part of that as maybe an attack, but the first part of it basically says, I'm not that person anymore.
But he never said that.
I think I read between the lines a little bit. I don't know.
You can't say, guys, I'm almost 40 years old. People can change. Yes.
Yeah, we've said that multiple times.
You can't just say, people change. Okay. Did you change?
I think
he never said in that thing that his outlook actually has changed. I'm just saying that is not the correct response.
I think we're nitpicking a little bit. It's getting to a point now where if something bad happens, there's going to be a canned response.
Yeah.
And there's only so many ways that you can say, that's not me anymore.
Yeah.
And I think this was a big thing for him. He was genuinely thrilled to be asked to host. So for this to come up, I think there's some anger, justifiably. I think there was some anger.
Yeah.
If, you know,
I think
why wait until, you know, somebody obviously found these. Either as soon as they found out I was hosting, they went and looked for them, or they found them a while ago and they were waiting for the perfect moment to
this
blow
wasn't
them up.
social media stuff. I mean, this was set things in his actual set that actually were part of his recorded comedy shows.
Right, but those are easy to find too.
I don't know. I'm just saying, it isn't just some stuff. But this would be a fine response if he gave the typical, okay, yeah, I'm a comedian. I did some things in the past. I'm not totally happy with that. I have asked for forgiveness about those in the past. Yeah, we already know about this. I'm sorry. If he had said that, and people keep attacking, this response I'd be 100% fine with. His problem is that he came with this response immediately.
Well,
and this was an Instagram video that he just recorded real quick and slapped up.
Well, and like I said, like Mike said, maybe he was coming from an emotional response,
right?
Oh, yeah,
mental state,
which is not the best thing to do.
No,
for anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say that I think is kind of interesting through all of this is the guy that he has a Hollywood bromance going with.
Yeah.
That being Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, has not said hide nor hair about this.
That's because
has avoided this topic.
He is smart.
Yes.
If I don't say anything, I can't be held one way or the other. And that man knows how to make money. I made the mistake, I guess, and I friended him on Instagram. Good Lord.
Oh.
Good Lord,
Instagram,
does that man
Facebook?
post.
Oh, yeah.
I bet I get 6 posts a day from him. Do I get a retweet? No. Never. Listen, Rock, like something of ours, for Christ's sakes. All right? A follow back. Something. A heads up. Just a little heart. That's all I'm asking for. All right, let's get on to something.
You know something, Mr. Johnson?
Yeah.
Mr. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Let me explain something. I'm looking right at you, pal. The Brahma Bull, traveling with the Iron Paradise. Yeah, I follow you. I followed you since your name was Rocky Maivia. Wearing your turtlenecks with your gold chains hanging out of it and having the kid and play afro in the WWE. I remember you. I remember when you was playing the gay bodyguard in that movie with John Travolta. I remember you. How about showing a little love back, all right? You talk about being the people's champ. You talk about dropping the people's elbow. You talk about dropping the biggest release in Under Armour history because I did that. And $7 in my pocket, $7 Productions. We hungry. We trying to eat too. We respect you. How about showing some love back? What's up?
That's right.
Last thing I'll say on this, though, there's, I guess, a movement of people saying that Wanda Sykes should be the host. No,
that'd be a horrible idea. All right, let's move on to something we can all agree on and a right that we all think we should have, and that is to browse Pornhub at Starbucks.
What?
All right.
What?
I think we can all agree that that's something that we should be able to do. And that some faceless, corporation shouldn't be keeping us down on.
That is an interesting theory there, Barry.
I mean, it's not like children come to Starbucks. It's full of adults. Children shouldn't be drinking coffee anyway. So, what does it hurt? Why can't I watch YouPorn at Starbucks anymore? Starbucks representative told NBC News that the viewing of egregious content over its store's Wi-Fi has always violated its policy, but now the company has a way to stop it. We have identified a solution to prevent this content from being viewed within our stores, and we will begin introducing it into the U.S. locations in 2019.
Okay, so basically they're IP blocking or DNS blocking.
So they
figured out.
So Big Coffee is cracking down on big porn.
You know who else does that?
Schools.
Russia.
That's right.
You know who else does that? North Korea.
Uh-huh. It's a firewall of oppression. That's what it is.
Who also does that? Where I work.
Yeah, but you work there, man. You don't pay to go there. I pay to go to Starbucks. I'm a customer. I should get things.
You know who's going to benefit the most from this? Panera.
It's right. And libraries. All right? You're going to force me to go to the library?
Now, here's my 2 cents on this. If you are that lonely that you're watching porn in Starbucks, it can only mean one of two things.
You need to use headphones.
They are fumigating mom's basement. Or mama said, go play outside, and you're using this as a loophole. So listen, there are other hotspots you could connect to. Don't be sitting in the middle of Starbucks with your unicorn frappe watching porn.
Yeah, it's just not.
And you know what the worst part is? If you get these guys with, now you're going to start seeing people with the
VR porn at Starbucks.
See the dude, because some of the Starbucks have like the couches with the fireplace. See some dude just sitting in the fireplace with his VR thing on, just and you're gonna be like, he watching porn. That's right, there he is.
Yep, this is exactly how it's gonna look.
That's it. Brown chicken, brown cow.
Oh yeah, just like that.
Okay, listen.
This is not a good look. This won't
Pokemon
attract
Go
women.
should not be a thing.
No.
I'm going to say that, okay? And Starbucks ain't going to block Pokemon Go, but no, Pokemon Go should not be a thing. I got cousins that are and friends that are all about Pokemon Go. I got my gym is a gym. No, not a gym. No, my dojo. No. No, it's freaking Pokemon, okay? Ryan Reynolds voices the damn thing now.
Yeah, exactly. And damn it if it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
We watched the trailer last time.
Yeah. But no, what is great though, what is great about this is no matter what you do to Pornhub or YouPorn or RedTube or whatever, they're all owned by the same company. Whatever you do to them, they can turn it around and make it benefit them. All right? They can turn the news back towards them better than anybody else.
Oh, I'm not going to agree with you on that. But
Kevin Hart should hire, Pornhub to do all his press releases. That's what he should do. Because YouPorn...
You can't even say that with a straight face. You don't even believe that. No. I will tell you what
they put out
did.
An updated company policy. That
said
effective...
Starbucks is no longer allowed in the office.
Yes.
And you know what the YouPorn people said? We get free coffee anyway, so who cares? You know what they said? They said, fine, we just save money because we just go to Dunkin' Donuts. McCafe, baby. What? Keurig's in the break room? Awesome.
Yeah. So...
Although I'm going to guess that when they're doing this, they're not actually speaking English.
No. YouPorn employees don't drink Starbucks. Okay? Not the office workers. And don't be like, look, YouPorn don't make the porn. They just host the porn. So it's a bunch of guys who are probably like, okay, we can't bring Starbucks into the office. That's fine. I'll go to Starbucks because mom's basement's being fumigated. Or
couple people.
It's been cloudy a couple of days, so the solar panels on top of my van down by the river aren't working.
So
I mean,
a couple people are going, all right, Starbucks, it's fine that you're doing it. Why do you have to publicize it?
Yeah, that's
why do you have to put out a press release?
That's actually a good point there.
Why? Just do it. You know, do you have that many people that are? Do you think you're gonna have that many people come up to the counter and go, "Hey, I can't get to RedTube"?
You think them good Christian people are going to be like, oh, they're anti-porn, so we're gonna. But wait a second, is it just YouPorn?
No, it's
or
good.
They're blocking all porn sites, but YouPorn is the one.
That's a good question because like I said, I know YouPorn, RedTube, and Pornhub are all owned by the same company, but I have no idea whether this is going to block everything. So are they going to block things like Playboy and Hustler and those other online large ones? Are they going to Brazzers and all you name it?
Okay. Or I mean, are they actually going to get that detailed that they're going to say, okay, so
how deep is their content filter going to go?
They're right now they're logging IP addresses of all the people that have searched YouPorn and the top 10 users at Starbucks. This is what they're doing. Starbucks is turning the tables by inviting them, saying, okay, listen, we're going to give you an office in the back. And you'll be able to access these sites, but you got to tell us all the sites to block.
Well,
the general public. So you've watched all of them on YouPorn. You know all the individual performers' sites. So we're going to need a list of those.
I don't know, but if you ever want to find out the number of times that Pornhub has fought back against don't Google Pornhub fights back. You won't get what you're looking for. You'll get a ton of other stuff.
So here's my conspiracy theory of the month. Just like Steph Curry.
Hold on one quick. I got a quick. Because Mike, you brought up a good choice, a good question of are they going to block all adult material? My question is this going to affect any of us that are smart enough when we're using a public Wi-Fi to use a VPN? Because if I'm tunneling all my traffic through a VPN anyway, is it going to affect anything? My bet is maybe not.
Well, here we go. So Slashdot went up in subscriptions because they're always offering like lifetime VPNs and stuff.
Exactly. Pornhub themselves sell a VPN product.
So my conspiracy theory is that Starbucks actually owns Pornhub.
Oh, you think this is going to increase their...
Yeah, it's just a big free advertising thing.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I don't know if Pornhub is publicly traded company. If they're not if they are a publicly traded company, I'm buying in.
So Starbucks owns Pornhub. They own the paper straw manufacturer.
Yeah. Headquartered out of Quebec. Owner, MindGeek. Privately held Canadian company that focuses primarily on internet pornography.
I see they're privately held.
Though legally registered in Luxembourg, it operates mainly from Canada with headquarters in Montreal, additional offices in London, Dublin, Hamburg, Bucharest, Nicosia, Miami, San Diego. Huh. So, yeah.
They could be owned by Starbucks.
They could be. It's a shadow company.
Yeah.
And
they've just generated publicity by going to war with themselves. That's brilliant.
Yes, it is brilliant.
Wow, that's brilliant.
That conspiracy theory makes a lot more sense than Steph Curry's.
Yep. Now,
some athletes just should not speak. Some celebrities should just not speak.
Yeah,
most. Now, Mike, we talked about Me Too. We talked about porn. We talked about Christmas songs. How about we talk about a man's legal fight, which seems over, to change his age on Tinder?
No. Let's not, because this is the dumbest.
Okay.
This is absolutely the dumbest thing. But I will say, I'm glad the court actually rejected it because it wasn't in the U.S., but could you imagine if this was in the U.S. and the court allowed them to do it? You would never find out a woman's real age.
Yeah.
Ever again. And in the Me Too era, that is worse than walking around with a loaded gun.
Mm-hmm.
It's not happening, man.
All right. Do we want to go to your vegan phrases?
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, yes.
PETA.
Okay.
PETA, I actually saw a clip on YouTube. A British, I think it was British morning show.
To irritate. Why let it?
That's it.
Yep. Here, hold on. Stop. Jesus.
What's it got to do with you?
But there's nothing to do with me. But you can't invite them out. You can't go anywhere with them. Or they're moaning at the waiter. Does that have gluten in it? And these are they're not. But wait, I tell you. But the vegans normally there's a trend. Okay, vegans normally then move on to gluten as well. Okay, because they like to get to all the fats.
Boy.
So basically, what's happening here is PETA has gone ahead and decided it's time to change our language and stop using idioms that imply animal abuse.
Yeah, common everyday idioms, I'm assuming. So, ones like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater thing, things like that.
So because I actually found this on Twitter as well.
Okay.
Where they had a chart.
Wow.
And their tweet said, "Words matter, and as our understanding of social justice evolves, our language evolves with it. Here's how to remove speciesism."
Speciesism.
From your daily conversation. Speciesism. Oh. We've joked about that.
Yes.
In the past. But now they're trying to make it a thing. Stop using anti-animal language.
Oh.
Instead of kill two birds with one stone, say feed two birds with one scone.
What? Are the birds having coffee?
Instead of be the guinea pig, say be the test tube.
Oh, I thought you were going to say give a guinea pig a scone.
Instead of beat a dead horse.
Let me guess. Give a horse a scone?
No. You're close, though. Feed a fed horse.
Feed a fed horse sounds like a tongue twister.
So now, PETA, you're trying to encourage horses to be overweight.
That's
by
right.
Overfeeding them, which could make them sick. And that's animal cruelty. Anyway. Instead of bring home the bacon, say bring home the bagels. That's offensive to Jewish people.
Well, but what if I have a gluten allergy?
Instead of take the bull by the horns, say take the flower by the thorns. No idiot grabs a flower by the thorns.
Well, not only that, but there's only a finite number of flowers with thorns. You'd have to say take the rose by the thorns. And at that point, then you have to pay Axl Rose and Slash for the rights to use that every rose has a thorn.
So, okay, you do realize that that's poison. So it's
sorry,
Ricky
wrong.
Ratman and Bret Michaels, not Axl and Slash.
I got Axl Rose, and it's just a weird connection in the brain.
All right, that's fair enough. So PETA then replies, just as it became unacceptable to use racist, homophobic, or ableist language. What the hell is ableist?
Ableist? Oh, I gotta look that up.
Phrases that trivialize
language.
Cruelty to animals will vanish as more people begin to appreciate animals for who they are and start bringing home the bagels instead of the bacon.
So ableist, by the way, would be example like dumb. Calling somebody dumb is
crazy, insane, lame, dumb,
okay,
blind, deaf, idiot, imbecile, invalid, maniac, nuts, psycho, spaz.
Okay, so somebody replies to PETA. I'm looking at some of the replies on Twitter here. So you're saying there's more than one way to skin a cat?
Yes.
Then there's a chart. Stop using anti-Thanos language. Instead of "you look beautiful," say "perfectly balanced as all things should be." Okay. Here's a vegan who replies, "Y'all are putting a bad name on vegans who are actually not extremists and not offended over everything."
Mm-hmm.
This is...
Oh. Yeah.
I just don't understand. And this comes at a particularly... There's somebody who posts up with the Robert Downey Jr. meme from Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you never go full retard. Yeah, well, Peter just did.
Yeah.
I mean, look. This comes at a particular time when PETA is getting all of these donations. And this is what they're fighting, people. They're fighting... Basically, PETA is veganist. It's vegan. That's it. It's vegan. Okay?
Yeah.
Ethical treatment of animals. Okay. You should just say, be vegan. So, folks, if you're donating to PETA, I would encourage you to not donate to PETA. We will give you some links of some reputable charitable organizations on our page that you can donate to.
PETA, your tweet is leading lambs to the slaughter. They really screwed the pooch on this one.
I mean, this is ridiculous, all right? As if I don't have enough reason to hate vegans.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. There are so many replies, there's hardly room to swing a dead cat.
I'm gonna say this real quick, and then we got to move on.
Yeah.
And do the movie reviews, so I'm looking through threads on the shelter's page today, and comments on one of the new dogs that arrived, and I see a name I recognize, and I know for a fact it's a vegan, and she said something about how she was interested in coming to see and adopt this dog. It took every fiber of my being not to type, "This dog is on a chicken and beef diet."
Well, yeah. This is why my sister's kids like coming over to my parents' house. Because they have meat there. All right? It's not just tofu.
Look,
my dad was actually a little bit upset that that my wife and I left town for the holidays, because he goes, "Now I guess I have to go to your sister's and have tofurkey."
Look, I am okay. I don't think... I'm not judging you for being vegan. Just like I don't judge someone for being Catholic or what. It's your choice. But the minute you try to press it on me or make me feel inferior because I choose not to live that lifestyle, y'all can eat a bag of dicks, all right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I have more important
those
things.
Those dicks are not kosher. They're not made of tofu. They are 100% pure African Mandingo. All right?
I have more important things to do than try to figure out if it's okay for me to eat figs or not. That's actually basically a big thing people are trying to figure out. Is every fig has at least one dead wasp.
Oh my God! Hold on, we got to talk about this. This is big breaking news today, by the way.
Oh wow!
All right, I posted this. Yet another food is going to kill you. All right. Last week, the weeks before, been romaine lettuce.
Yes.
If you ate it, you are instantly going to die. Because we can't have porta potties in the fields, evidently. This week hits a little closer to home for me. Something that I actually care about and eat. Because as we all know, meat eats lettuce. And we eat meat. Today, there was an issue for a recall of 29,000 pounds of Jimmy Dean sausage. Sausage links from Jimmy Dean being recalled. Okay. Sorry.
Well, we did a little better. We made it almost 2 hours this time.
You were just looking very stoic, and I didn't know. Let's see here. Does it pick it up, or do I have to flip it again?
I don't know. I can't see you.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, I was thinking earlier, Shag, when you were talking about bringing back sausage from Vermont, I was like, oh, it's a good thing you have an extra sausage with the Jimmy Dean thing going on.
All right, Mike, can you see us yet?
Nope.
All right.
All right.
Wonderful. Where the hell is my chat? Ongoing call. There. Audio and video settings. There. Okay. Alright, hold on. Damn it.
Can we leave and try again?
No. Hold on. No bueno still?
No bueno.
Alright, I'll call you. Hold on.
Okay.
All right.
It's bueno.
Okay, good. So Jimmy Dean sausage being recalled due to metal pieces in the sausage, 29,000 pounds of it.
All right, so here
it's a big problem.
That is a big problem. Stop messing with the meat.
Yeah. I mean, here I got related to this. This is a little bit old, but we all love sausage. I mean, it goes great. I had it the other day with my waffles that I made. Well, I didn't make them, but I ate them. But the wife made them. I brought the syrup to the table. That's how far my making of waffles goes right now. All right. But this is a call to their customer complaint line, and we may have played this a while ago, but I think this is just hilarious. So listen in.
Randy Taylor. I don't know where you people come from. I don't know if you test your products, your quantity of your products. Your products are very delicious. Love your sausage for 30-something years, but I can't take and feed a family of 5 on a little 12-ounce roll of sausage. I don't mind paying you more money for your 16-ounce roll of sausage.
By the way, there are curse words in here. It's not bleeped. Apologize.
But you don't have it anymore. You got a 12-ounce roll. And you got 3 men that weigh over 200 pounds apiece, a woman that's a little plump Scotch girl, and a daughter who's 13, and you're going to try to take a 12-ounce roll of sausage and a couple of dozen eggs and feed that. It ain't going to work. And I'm not going to purchase your product anymore or ever again. And as far as your 16 ounce of maple and sage, I don't eat that. I'm not from the north. I'm a Texas man. Jimmy Dean sausage is for southern people to eat with the breakfast, with the fried eggs and the T-bone steaks. And I can't see going to a little 12-ounce package to feed 4, 5, 6 people. And I'm not going to buy 2 of those 12-ounce packages just because you want to downsize and charge the same goddamn price. I'd sure like a reply, and I'd sure like you to go back to your 16-ounce package on your regular sausage. Because I'm not going to buy it otherwise ever again. I'll just have my own damn sausage made like I used to 30-something years ago. It's not tasty as yours is, but it'll work. Goodbye.
He pulls a classic old man.
Goddamn roll of sausage supposed to be your brother and me and then you, 600 pounds of men.
He didn't hang
at
up.
least. You get my point? And the two girls, and they put it in that fucking pussy roll of sausage. Son of a bitch. Somebody needs their ass kicked. Some little consumer geekaloid fucked this shit up. Save money, yeah, save money, save money. Fuck, I'm gonna eat, goddammit.
Pull the classic old man and didn't hang up the phone. I like that. And a woman who's a little plump. That was one of my favorite parts. So Jimmy Dean, you got a couple of things you got to deal with there. All right, you got get this stuff with your machinery fixed so we can get our sausage.
Yeah.
All right, and put out a 16-ounce roll for the fat men.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell, they always have.
So,
I mean, the guy probably walked into the supermarket to buy his 16-ounce roll of sausage, and somebody else had probably already bought it all. And he decided, Jimmy Dean decided not to make 16-ounce sausage anymore.
Alrighty, folks, with that said, it is now time for a double feature movie review segment we do every time we do a show. We take two movies inspired from Amazon and Netflix list of, hey, you watch this garbage, so you may be interested in these too. We have curated our own list based off of those suggestions. Every week we pick two films at random to go through. This week the contenders are Joystick and Someone Mary Berry. So it's been requested that we do Joystick first.
Okay.
All right. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to go first.
Please.
Do we ever mind?
No, not usually. All right. Being a child of the 80s with a father whose favorite movie was DC Cab, I was surprised to hear that there was an 80s comedy with gratuitous topless scenes that I hadn't seen at least 1 million times. I mean, while others grew up looking at Sears catalogs, trying to take a quick peek at Mom's Victoria's Secret ad, I had a front row seat to all the Porky's, Revenge of the Nerds, DC Cab, Up the Creek, and other breast-filled films that anyone could ever want. So you can imagine my utter disappointment when I realized that not only did 12-year-old me appreciate the magnificent 80s cans, but I also enjoyed the storylines of those films, evidently. This became evident to me while watching this gutter trash of a movie called Joystick. Trying to be some type of weird fight-the-system movie and nerd turns good, the plot lines were jumbled and horribly acted, the talent in this film terribly overacted, maybe trying to compensate for a horrible script. And while I appreciate what they tried to play off as a foreplay scenes, it just lacked the truth I guess I had come to know. I won't be suggesting this film to anyone, and I have a long weekend of watching classic boob films to wash the stain from my eye. So with all that said, here's a couple of observations that I have. 1. Why is Frodo working at the arcade? All right. 2. Are those punks or goths? And I didn't realize Jared Leto was really that old. 2. Hot tub in a van? Hot damn, I want one. 3. Strip video game. Whatever happened to good old leather goddesses of Phobos? So in summary, this movie deserves a new rating. Somewhere between Verp and Puke. But befitting the era of the film. So I dub this new rating, especially for 80s boob films, Saggy Boner.
Oh, Lord.
Did I just read that Mama Blair wasn't allowed to watch this film?
No, I decided not to watch this movie with them.
Okay. So there you go. You can watch it, but
feel free.
No kids or grandkids. Highly
grandparents.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This movie, so this is 1983. So this is yet another copy of Porky's, Animal House, Porky's 2, I guess. Just that genre of actually, I think the official term for this genre as exploitation. And this is an exploitation movie. And I was very uncomfortable with this movie because I was looking at this movie and I was like, this is Exhibit 1 in the case for Me Too, for the Me Too movement. And I was just watching this going, okay, so Shaggy covered it. You know, it's an arcade. Stupid father decides to combat against it because his daughter shows up there. They go to court. They have a stupid video game fight to see who gets to keep their arcade, and that's, you know, just take the exact same plot as any of those other movies. This is that one again. But as Shaggy said, there's lots of topless here. But the one that skeeved me out the most is that there is this character of, so the main character who runs the arcade doesn't play arcades because of a bad experience that he had with a girlfriend in the past, who her father showed up and took her away, and he saw her reflection in a video game machine, and that's why he doesn't play video games. The problem is that the actress who plays this person has to have a complete nude scene of the main character just groping the crap out of her. And she has exactly, unless I missed it, because I went over and watched, quickly watched through again, she has no lines. This actress has no lines in this movie. She just shows up and gets groped. And that's all she gets out of this movie. And I'm just like, I look just going, wow, I hear all these bad things in Hollywood about directors and especially in that era and what they were doing to actresses. And I'm like, I just have a feeling that there was a lot of exploitation happening in this movie, and that anyway. This movie skewed me out because of that. I just could not help imagining what it was like to try to be in this movie. Anyway, it's not a puke. It's basically exactly where Shaggy had it, although I won't use his special name for where that is.
Okay. So, in reading the trivia for this movie, turns out they shot this movie in 3 weeks. Interesting. Seeing all these old video games makes me want to build an emulator to play them. It makes me miss going to the arcade while my mother went shopping in the mall. You know, when you could actually leave your kid unattended and not worry about them. The youngest of the T-Birds from Grease 2 turned into a nerd. How'd that happen? You gotta love the 80 movies that just throw gratuitous boob shots in for no reason whatsoever. I mean, this is a classic J.J. Abrams move. The movie, it's just starting to seem more and more like a cheap ripoff of Hamburger the movie, mixed with a dash of paramedics and possibly some ski school. But I'm seeing a lot of faces that I recognize from other movies later in their careers, which makes me scared to think that this was their jumping off point. For example, Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite plays the main punk. Zed's girlfriend from Police Academy. The two henchmen were both in Stripes. One played Cruiser. The other was John Larroquette, Captain's assistant. And even the blonde booby chick was the one who played piano in Weird Science and got shot out the chimney. Which, ironically, was her only other acting credit that I could find. So now they're in the trial. Video madness. That really? That. But I still want to know, the biggest thing that made this movie completely unbelievable is in what world, I know they say there's someone out there for everybody, but in what world is that the guy that played Dorfus attracted to anyone? I don't get it. So, I mean, Puke to Schnikes, look, I kicked myself a couple of times for picking this movie and adding it to the list. I really need to, instead of just looking at the description and all, I really need to start watching trailers for these things before I put them on the list. I'm going to give this a game over, man, which is the equivalent of a verb.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this may be the first movie that we all agree is just, it's terrible.
It's bad. It's bad. And how do you screw up an 80s, boob comedy? They're so easy.
Mama Blair's asking, listen, it's not burn it with fire, or kill it with fire bad. Okay?
No, but
this is still Battle Space makes this look like this should be winner of an Academy Award.
Yeah, this is Stanley Kubrick.
Right? But this is bad. I mean, and it's just, but like Mike said, you go, I know that person from somewhere. Where do I know him from? I didn't even remember Police Academy, Zed's girlfriend. But I'm like, I know her, and that ridiculous, overacted Valley Girl voice just grated every time I heard it.
Just absolutely terrible.
God.
I usually leave the goofs to you, Mike, in case you wanted to. My favorite was that they're playing these games with these gigantic controllers, and they're mashing buttons on it like crazy, and they're playing Pac-Man. There's no buttons for Pac-Man.
Actually,
because that was Super Pac.
They were playing Super Pac-Man, and there is a turbo button.
There is a turbo button for Super Pac-Man, which you hold down to go faster.
Right.
You don't mash the buttons.
Yeah.
Yes. Mashing the buttons in Super Pac-Man will not do anything.
All right. So next up, Someone Marry Barry.
Oh, but before we go on, so Dorfus is playing the game, and this giant joystick, he's sitting there and he's playing it with his elbow and all, but then he starts licking the damn thing. No.
Where's the wipes? Where's the wipes?
Where's the fire? Where's the fire?
Do you know how many germs are on that thing?
Well, but it makes you appreciate the scene from Hackers where they're playing each other against each other, where Crash Override and I forget what the hell Angelina Jolie's character is, when they're playing against each other in that one game.
Acid Burn.
When they're playing each other for the high score there. Boy, have we come a long way.
But also, I'll just say, no arcade in history has been like that.
No. I was looking for pictures of Aladdin's castle when I was doing my review. All right. Someone Marry Barry. I love buddy movies, and I love when this bit pays off. So what could be better than when both of those things come together at the same time? Someone Marry Barry is a story every group of friends can relate to. As they say in the movie, we all have that one uncouth friend who sees the social appropriateness line and leaps headfirst over it. We all dream of that person growing out of it, and I think for most of us, we are lucky enough that they do. But what happens if they don't? This movie is about exactly that. Barry ruins his friends' lives, careers, relationships, and every other aspect he can get his foul mouth and ill manners into. The magic solution to all his friends' problems is to marry him off. But while their plans fail, Barry himself finds the perfect one. Not the perfect one in his friends' minds, though, because the perfect one in his mind refers to her own down-below bread factory, belching and farting among this debutante's favorite activities. So naturally, the world is a better place with two Barrys in it now, right? No. It's a bigger crap fest for the friends than if there were just one. So we have the high point of our film where the friends break up only to realize that while dealing with Barry may be an inconvenience, he is always there for them and he is the one who makes them better. It's kind of like if you're ever feeling like a piece of garbage, just visit peopleofwalmart.com. And instantly, you're Angelina Jolie or Bradley Cooper, and this world is your bitch just for the taking. This movie is one of our rare hidden gems, in my opinion. And while it seems like I gave most of it away, there is so much more that you have to see to fully understand. I endorse watching this film, but to really enjoy it, you have to have just a little bit of Barry in you. Because you know that without a filter, you would be a Barry as well. So this movie gets a big smirk from me.
So, someone very Barry. I gotta say, every single time I hear or say the title, I laugh because I've watched a lot of, or as it's called in the U.S., the great British baking show.
Mm-hmm.
Who's one of the head judges is Mary Berry. So, the title of this one every time, just Mary Berry, just makes me laugh. But this movie is everything the Joysticks was not. This is very, very carefully put together. It just on the line. If they'd gone over the line, then it would have been just like many movies we have watched, like that idiotic one with the guy who likes to take his pants off all the time, where they're in the anyway. This movie, what? The one that was the Die Hard ripoff, where they were working in the hotel.
Game Over Man.
Yeah, Game Over Man.
I was gonna Google movie with guy who likes to take his pants off all the time, and I wasn't gonna find it.
But that guy in Game Over Man, it's like every single movie we see him in, he like shows his dick to everybody. And so those movies just go over the line and they're crap, and I hate them. This movie just stays right on the edge. It's kind of like the Farley brothers used to make movies like this. Something About Mary, those kinds of things, where they keep on the edge. They don't go over the edge, and everything works really great. There's a lot of people in this that Damon Wayans is in it. The guy who's on the commercials now for is it Verizon? No, not Verizon. Yep. Is it Verizon? Yeah, Verizon. There's a lot of people in this movie that I recognize. They're very good. The main one is Tyler Labine, which I recognized him as my mom said. It was like this was written for Jack Black, but Jack Black's now too old and doesn't do this role anymore. So Tyler did it instead. He's now on New Amsterdam playing a psychiatrist. He's great on that show. Anyway, this one, for all the reasons that Shaggy gave, this movie I thought was wonderful. I actually give it a little higher. I'm going to give it a smile.
Okay. By the way, Mike, before you do your review, I have to show you something. I Googled movie with guy who likes to take his pants off. Now, obviously, we get Risky Business, 50 Shades of Grey, but down in the images, the third image is from Game Over Man, and so it is for the Netflix review. How does Google know that? That is impossible.
Well, they're getting grilled by Congress today, so...
My God!
Now we know why.
They are too good.
Submit this little show to your senator.
No.
Or not. No, don't. No. Or not.
She's too busy asking him why idiots on the Google Images shows Trump.
Yeah, well. All right. So right off the bat, I start watching this movie, and immediately there's a little corner of my brain where a little man is sitting there trying to figure out which one of us is Barry.
Yeah.
I do not like the fact that the Verizon guy is in this movie, so begrudgingly, I will continue watching. It's never a good sign when you are at a funeral or some church function and somebody takes the microphone out of the stand. If that ever happens, just shut the mic off. Free tip from your Uncle Mike. During the scene in the cab, when Barry first meets, I don't remember what her name is. I'm going to call her Norbert.
Yeah.
They used a lot of words that I am ashamed to admit are staples in the vocabulary here at Butterstown, such as cock breath. I call them Nate-isms, where you take two words that normally don't go together and turn them into a single insult. Like ass waffle or twat neck. These two are like the couple that you always see at family functions that you don't want to deal with because they embarrass you. But you want to hang out with them at the after party or non-family functions because it's cool as hell to see what kind of trouble they get into, and it makes life interesting. Side note, I feel like I've seen the bar they hang out in no less than 6 different movies. The music they're playing in the truck. Soundtrack of my life. Locking the windows and then ripping ass. I got to tell you something. That was my signature move. When I had the Jeep, we'd go on road trips to the NASCAR races and what have you, and I'd be driving along, just hanging, and nobody'd see me reach this, slide this hand over slyly and lock the windows right before I pass gas. Nothing better than seeing people in the back seat fighting for oxygen. But as silly as this movie was, I also gave it a solid smile. Maybe my rating is skewed a little bit because I did watch this after Joysticks.
Yeah.
But I think the situations that they went through are pretty much relatable to anyone. All right. At some point, we've all been a Barry. And at some point, we've all known a Barry. Everyone has that friend that they're nervous to introduce to the rest of their friends. That's why we have circles. It was fun, albeit a little cheesy. What I recommend, I wrote down here that I might not recommend it unless you were a major fan of one of the cast, but actually, looking back at some of the other movies that we have recommended, I could say, yes, I will recommend this. Is it worth multiple viewings? No, maybe not, but I definitely would recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And if nothing else, it doesn't have Adam Devine.
Yeah.
By the way, I knew the minister from the beginning, from the funeral scene from somewhere. Minister Hagen. He is the guy that did the College Humor bit, If Google Was a Real Person.
I think he's done many other things, too.
Yeah, he has done a ton of other stuff, but that's where I know him from.
I think you can tell that we like this movie because we carefully did not reveal some of the secrets of the movie, especially the ending.
Yeah.
Yes. So. Okay. So, Mama Blair writes this one in.
Oh, yes.
Nah.
And
Bill Barry plays a similar role in Doc Martin.
And I'm going to send this one again because
Mike is Barry. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. You did have your little...
I'll tell you what. If this was 10 years ago, I'd say I was Barry. But I've mellowed.
The original PTR Barry didn't last very long.
No.
In fact, we had to rename the show.
But, yeah. No. I don't know. I think we could... I think Mike and I could switch off Barry.
I think it depends on how much alcohol is involved.
Yeah. Oh yeah, boy, you get us both toasty, and Colin's got 2 berries. That's a bad night for you, my
dangerous.
friend.
Yeah. You're not selling a trip to Jersey on them right now. You know that, right?
So, all right. Well, we need to pick one movie for next week because we have already decided that we are going to preset one of the other movies in our pool because, as is the tradition for our show before Christmas, we are going to watch at least one Christmas show for our movie review, and I think it's been unanimous that it's going to be the Santa Chronicles.
Yes.
With Kurt Russell. And how can we not? There's so much hype about this movie right now. I mean, I have heard no less than from 3 people that I need to watch it. It's gotten a big release thing. I mean, it looks pretty good from the trailer, honestly.
This may be the first movie that I get Mrs. 8-Man to review with me.
Oh, I know that my wife is going to watch it with me. I won't be able to not get her to watch it with me. Let me put it that way. Which usually means I watch it first on my own, and then I watch it with her because I get tired of answering all the questions. And so I have to enjoy it one time on my own. All right, so, Mike, what are we up to?
Hang on a second. I gotta clean up the sheet a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
Do we have anything else on the sheet that's Christmas? I haven't looked.
I don't think so.
Let's see. Yes, we do.
Do we?
El Camino Christmas with Tim Allen and Dax Shepard.
Oh! If it's there, we're doing it. I'm gonna call it right now. Let's do it. Stuck in a liquor store during an alleged robbery, a group of strangers shares hidden truths and forms an unexpected bond during Christmas. It's got Dax Shepard and Tim Allen and Jessica Alba.
Okay, I think we're set.
All right. We don't even have to get a breakout random. We're doing El Camino Christmas, and we're doing the Christmas Chronicles. All right, that is what we are doing.
Is it the Christmas Chronicles or the Santa Chronicles?
It's called the Christmas Chronicles. So that is our list.
And when is the show?
And
we need to think about that.
Yeah, we need to conference on that probably offline.
Okay.
So we will announce when the next show is on social media channels. So pay attention to us there for when the next live show is going to be.
I do have one other thing that I do want to mention, because we said on the page that the DeathPool entry was going to close January 1st.
Right.
In years past, we have closed it an hour before we go live.
Yep.
For the first show in the new year.
I think it's going to...
Because that's when we reveal our picks.
Right. So the question is, when is our first show of the new year going to be? Is it going to be the 7th or the 14th? Because we're all off on dates right now.
I'm fine with the 7th.
Yeah, I'm at the 7th.
Okay. So we're going to go live on the 7th. So then that means that... And if you want to close them an hour before the show... Close them at 5 p.m. Central on the 7th. I'm good with that. I can do that.
Let's close. I'll tell you what. Let's close it the morning of the 7th. All right.
Okay.
Or noon or what have you. This way I can get a dump and I can get any last minute entries in.
Okay. So let's do that. Let's do 9 a.m. Eastern time on the 7th. 9 a.m. Eastern time on the 7th. That gives us plenty of time to get all the data out and get everything put up that we need to.
And we'll just say, just blanket rule, whatever happens between the 1st and the 7th is 100% up to the whims of the host of PTR Radio. Meaning if somebody dies in between those two dates, we'll just look at it ourselves and figure out. Instead of putting a lot of legalese on something that we don't make people pay for in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, here's how we've handled it in the past. If you submit, I'm going to say, January 6th, and somebody died January 5th, you have to give me a replacement.
Yeah.
Right.
If you submit January 2nd and somebody dies January 6th,
counts.
You get the points.
Right.
Yeah. You can't posthumously pick somebody.
Right. It's all timing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And remember, the closer that you get to that deadline, the less likely we are to let you have replacement picks.
Yeah.
If that person was already declared dead or something else. Just because it's more work for us. We have a ton of work to do to get this ready for a reveal on the 7th by showtime. So we are giving you extra time to get everybody in. And we fully expect Now you've got an extra week to bother your friends and family to get them to go in. So if we don't have more than 50 entries this year, boy, we're going to be pissed. You got an extra week worth of time.
We're going to be pissed off. If you've been paying attention, you may have seen random computer parts all around me. We're upgrading the mainframe because we're expecting that many more people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Were we supposed to talk about that?
We kind of were, but I don't think we have time to get into it because there are stories behind this.
Yeah, I think we're going to wait till the next show, and maybe we'll have resolution by then.
Oh, we'll have resolution. It's just a question of whether I'll be running on that machine or not.
Yeah, so...
Will the upgrades be completed? That's the question.
Will the upgrades be completed? Will Mike have strangled someone through the internet?
So by next time, we'll have a full story, hopefully, too.
Tune in next episode to find out the answer to these and many more pressing questions.
Whatever that is.
We will let you know when that episode is going to be, folks, but it will be before Christmas. We always do. And we will also, at that time, tell you when the PTR Radio countdown to New Year's Eve is going to be released.
Oh, God. Okay.
Mike forgot about that one.
No, Mike didn't forget. Mike was hoping that they'd coincide.
Well,
maybe we'll just record 3 hours that night.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Or maybe we'll make the recording on a weekend where we have more time. I don't know. So, folks, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget, please make sure that you subscribe to the podcast. PTRradio.com has all the links to subscribe for your iTunes, Stitcher, Android, whatever you need. We need people to subscribe so that you always make sure that you get the show. We appreciate it if you also rate and comment on the show on those platforms too. That does help us show up higher on the ratings so that we can hopefully get some of that new, trending, moving popularity stuff on those platforms. Always nice to get that little bump before the holidays. Check out PTR Radio for all the information. We're going to have tons of stuff there for you to check out. In addition to, of course, as we've said multiple times, the Celebrity Death Pool. Get all your friends involved. It's bonus point time, folks. So with that said, we will let you know on our social media channels when we're going to be on next. I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I'm Mike the Ape Man.
Stick a fork in us, folks. We are done. Later.